Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Health E-commerce Friday Live podcast. I'm your host, Amy Kading, Technical Product Manager and Marketing Services Director here at Get Healthy, and we're going live every Friday to discuss growing the business of health and wellness. During the month of May, we've been focusing on programs, and last week we talked about some easy shortcuts to program success. Today we're going to continue the conversation with how you can support your group program with zero time, which none of us have. So this is a great one. Excited to talk about it. Special guest this week is Courtney Bell, our Director of Marketing. Welcome back, Courtney.
Thank you for having me.
For the folks chiming in for the first time, we started at the beginning of the month talking about programs. There's even one in the beginning of April. You can find all of our Friday Live podcasts on our YouTube channel, so feel free to go back if you want to catch up. And if you haven't seen it before or heard us talk about it, Courtney, how do we at Get Healthy define what a program is?
Yeah, so you've probably seen programs done, and maybe you've done them yourself. So essentially a program is going to be a protocol that you choose as a practitioner, maybe a group of products. Some brands have like kitted products that people will build their program around. So essentially a program is going to focus around that protocol generally. And then you'll have some supplemental materials like a guidebook or a group, and making a social group, whether that's a circle group or a Facebook group. So the group component is a huge part of a group program. You can just have regular programs. We here at Get Healthy like to run group programs because generally those work really well. People like to go to consult with not only their practitioner, but with other like-minded people in a Facebook group or in a online group. Some people do programs in person, but at Get Healthy, the way we do it is we give you all the tools so that you can run a group program around kind of a protocol or a kit that we choose for you, and we create all the assets for it and try and give you everything you need so that you can basically just plug and play, tell your clients about it, post it on your social media, post it on your, send out emails, that sort of thing. And that's all you really have to do. So as far as programs go, you can make these yourself, but at Get Healthy, we try to help you make programs. And while we're here, we might as well plug that we can also, in our marketing services,
Yes,
we can also help customize your programs. So, you can take a program that we've created and you can kind of adjust it, or you can work with us to create your own program custom. So, just a little bit of an overview there.
Yeah, thanks for the plug. How could I forget to sneak that in there?
I know.
All right, so walk us through some ways, to save time and to support your group program.
Yeah, there's a lot of, this talk is really just going to be about different ways that you can, set up your program so that it's really easy. If you have zero time, which many practitioners do, and just a lot of professional career people do, they just don't have a lot of time.
Right.
So, the number one way is to let us kind of do most of the work for you, like I said. But if you are creating your own program, and even if you are getting assets from us, the biggest takeaway that I would advise is scheduling ahead of time. So this can be a challenge for a lot of people. I know we're all kind of running up to the last minute a lot of the time. That's what I love about our program. Our programs is that we try and give you everything ahead of time so that you can schedule, and you don't have to worry about, if you're on time or not. We also provide a calendar. So one thing that you will need if you're running a program likely is a calendar, so that people, so that you can kind of determine when to send things, that sort of thing. That's something that's very common practice in marketing. We provide that for you with our programs. So that's another thing that we kind of take off your plate. And so we save you some time.
which is huge because if you've never created a content calendar, I mean, it's pretty straightforward in terms of, writing what you need to do on which day, but sitting there thinking about your different channels and how things are in sync and the timing of everything, that in itself can be a very time consuming task, especially when you're like scheduling out an entire month at one time. So, yeah,
Yes.
having someone hand it to you is like a precious gift in my marketing opinion.
It is a really precious gift.
Yep.
Yeah, and it takes time, like so much time to think through all of those things, especially over a month-long period or a quarterly period, that sort of thing. So we do that. Yeah, we do that for you, and tell you when to post and tell you what to post and what time to post, and so we try and get as in depth as possible so that you really don't have to think about anything. All you have to do is get on your social account and send the actual post. We provide the copy for you. So if you're writing a post, you don't have to write anything. You could just copy and paste what we have written for that specific graphic. So it's all kind of lined out, very easy. And so scheduling is a huge thing, and we provide those tools for you. But even if you're running, your own program, thing like that, then scheduling is probably the biggest thing you need to be doing, and trying to do that ahead of time as much as possible. So there are different tools out there for scheduling. You can actually schedule posts directly. So if you like one social media platform over the other, say you use Facebook, most of the time, we always advise that you do something you're familiar with.
Right.
Don't try and hop over to all of the social media platforms right away if you aren't really using them at all, because if you start a group program and then say you like Facebook, but then you start a group program in Circle, you know and you have both running at the same time, and then you might forget about Circle, or you might not feel as inclined to go check on Circle, that sort of thing. I would say if you're just starting out, like, just start with something you really enjoy using, whether that's Facebook or Instagram, and start there. Facebook does have social media scheduling, so you can schedule your posts and your videos and your stories and all that. They also have, in Facebook groups, they have a link now where you can attach a guide. So in our programs, for instance, we provide a guidebook PDF. And so that's a really great tool for you to notify your group about. You can say, just go right up to the guide section and it'll be there for them. So that's a good way to reinforce and make sure that they really see that they're going to stay up to date with what you've created in that guide and all of that. So that's one tool if you are just in Facebook. So the other tool is if you are inclined to kind of get out of Facebook or a single social channel, then you can use kind of like a one-to-many tool, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Um, and you might know something about this too, Amy, but like Hootsuite, for instance, is one. So you can schedule, basically write one post and upload one graphic, and that one graphic and one post is going to go to all of your social media channels. So it'll post to Facebook and Instagram and YouTube, wherever you'd like to, put out the information. There's a lot of different options. HubSpot has this as well. Also, Later is one. So that's really nice. I know there's some, it does say, there's just something to note. It does say that on the post, it'll say posted by whatever the company is.
Right. That's a good
So
point.
there is that.
But it's still
But
better, in my opinion, than like logging into each one and scheduling it and like having to keep track of all that.
yeah, exactly. And it's going to save you time. I mean, and I think at the end of the day, it's not a lot of people necessarily are going to be looking at that. And maybe there is I don't know if there's like a higher tier that you can purchase or something to not get that on there, but those are, if you're really just kind of looking for a quick, easy way to post on multiple different channels, those are really great resources. So, do you know any other scheduling softwares, Amy?
No, Later is the one that I've used the most. Probably the newest one to me is actually like Restream that we're using right now. That's like blew my mind when I found out that we can, not have to go like plug in links to all of our different channels to stream this out. So I think tools like
Yep.
that are also really great if you want to, be live or schedule something and post it out later. You can also, one-stop shop. Always in favor of that in all
Yeah,
aspects
me
of my
too.
life.
Yes. Yeah, and that's the thing, like, so we, like Amy said, we're using Restream right now to stream this live to YouTube, to Twitter, to Facebook, to LinkedIn, to all of those channels. We're just using one thing, and Restream is a great one if it's low cost. And there's a lot of flexibility that you have. It's very simple to use, user friendly, and we love it. Makes life a whole lot easier.
Definitely.
Yeah. So yeah, and I mean, in terms of saving time, we can kind of go into maybe the content part of it
Yeah, let's do that.
too. Yeah. So we talked a little bit about ChatGPT. I think it was a couple weeks ago. So, there are pros and cons to AI, as I'm sure everyone is very aware. It's a very hot button topic right now. We do have, as marketing experts, both Amy and I, we do have a session about ChatGPT that we went over. So if you're interested in
With a
our perspective
freebie.
on it, yes, that's
Yes.
true. Yes, how to use it. So you can get a free download if you're like really not familiar at all with ChatGPT. We made a little mini kind of guide prompt one pager that you can download just to get you started, because it is a good tool. So I would say, as far as going back to supporting your group with zero time,
Right.
if you are, if you are running your own stuff and you don't kind of opt into what we offer and you need to create some content, then ChatGPT, I think, is a really good option. But again, I would recommend going back to our other video and getting that freebie, because it can eat up some time if you don't
Yes.
necessarily know how to use it. So.
And if you go back and watch the previous session too, we talk about some other tools besides ChatGPT, which if you've never heard of that, it's primarily for text and copy, but we talk about in that other session some other tools for images, for video. There's a lot of other tools too. So we don't need to we could talk about ChatGPT and AI all day, but go back, watch that, get that freebie. It's really helpful. We are in this moment of time where we do have tools to help us save time, but just be cautious and learn before you use them. That's kind of my 2 cents there.
Yes, for sure. Try not to. Yeah, I mean, I think that AI is, I think we just have to be really careful about, there's a fine line, and, but it can be very useful in the short term. And so basically that's kind of like the summary of our other session. But yeah, so I think
that's I think we said edit like 1,000
yes
times. So
yes, I think we did. Yes, it's not perfect yet, so just make sure that you are editing for sure.
Definitely. Okay, well, kind of going back to what you were talking about on scheduling, what's the timeline look like for that when you get down into the details of like when are you scheduling for?
Yeah, and again, if you are kind of just joining us, we do offer a calendar as part of our programs, so you can schedule out things in a way that's, seamless, and we give you when to post, what to post, what time to post, that sort of thing. So again, if you are kind of using one of our programs, we give you that content calendar, and when to post, and when to also, I don't think I mentioned this, but when to update your group and when to talk to your
Yeah.
group, because I think we could just set up a group and like let it, just let it go. So I would say, if you can, make sure that you are scheduling at the very beginning before, maybe a month or two before you are starting your program. Schedule everything out. Again, we provided all of this for you. If you are going to run one of our programs, for instance, we're running a long haul
Right.
program right now. So we not only give you the assets to promote the sale of the kit, so the sale of that group of products, but we give you, we set up the coupon code, we set up a sales funnel for you. So we basically put a landing page on your store for you, and your clients can basically click on that and purchase the kit really easily. And then we also provide videos for your group and post content, so graphics and post copy for your group. So you can basically have that ahead of time and schedule it all out, and it's all done for you. So that's really great. If you are doing this on your own with a group and you're running your own group, then I would say that, one of the things that saves my life is setting up reminders for myself. So
Yeah.
if you feel like you're going to get into a group situation and set up a group program, but you might not be very good at going back to check it, then maybe set a reminder in your calendar. Like I use Google
Yeah.
Calendar. Use your phone to remind you if you really like to use that. But that is a big thing. I would say set a reminder, and schedule everything in advance when possible. But if you're just getting started, then do the best you can with it. And I think the important thing to remember is that the biggest component for your clients is that you're there supporting them. And I think that's really what's going to translate with people, is that they know you're there to support, and they also know that there's other people in the group to support. So I would say, and if you have to emphasize one thing over the other, scheduling versus group support, you want to make sure you really support that group and
Right.
make them feel like, they have someone there, because
Yeah. Make
at
sure
the end
you're
of the day,
engaging.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Because at the end of the day, that's what's going to, not
Yeah.
only get them healthier, but, you know, um, yeah, it'll keep them coming back to your group and really enjoying the experience.
Yeah. That's a good
Yeah.
point. And then I also kind of wanted to throw in, beyond what Get Healthy will give you to actually run your program, if you want to go beyond that to do some marketing and outreach to get more people to sign up and things like that. I know some people do like email campaigns on their own, but we can also help with that as well. So if you're like, I want to promote it more, I want to whatever, whether it's like a paid social ad or an email campaign, those are things that we can help you with too. So don't feel like if you want to do it and you don't have time to do it, don't just stop there. We're really reasonable and we can help you with that too. So just keep in mind that like we can help with time across the board, not just like getting the program started, but at the end too, and following up with people and helping you kind of grow your list and ultimately trying to get more people to your store at the end of the day too. So we can help with those ways as well.
Yeah. I love that about our platform, is like, we're not just setting you up with the store and saying, yeah, have at it. We're giving you the tools to actually drive traffic there, and
Yeah.
actually, and for wellness practitioners in particular, and it's all very targeted towards that, but also like driving traffic to your store in so many different ways that are really kind of in depth. Like we're really willing to work alongside you and guide you through the process. We have dedicated account managers. We have our marketing services, and it's kind of a really nice one-to-one experience in a world that's very automated and very
Yeah.
AI and not personal anymore. So that's something I love about our tech in particular. So
Me too.
yeah, and another thing I'll mention too is I think we mentioned this previously as well, but if you didn't see it, that engagement piece is huge, and another thing that you can do in your group. You can really capitalize in that group and make it a really awesome experience for your clients, but making sure that you have the option to set up office hours with them. So yeah, giving them the availability to you. It doesn't have to be necessarily a one-on-one, consultation, because that would take up your time, and this is about having zero time. So, set up those office hours, and, maybe once a week, just be available for 30 minutes to an hour, and, people can ask questions and get your time and know that you're there, and just the reassurance and all of those things. So I would definitely recommend making sure that you have some sort of office hours during the group support session. So that's just one thing I wanted to throw in before we wrap up here.
All great points. So ways to save time, scheduling, with content, with marketing, and with engagement, which engagement. You have to have a relationship with your patients and people who, they're ultimately buying something from you, they're trusting you, and you want them to come back. And yeah, it's really hard for people to trust if you're not like having any sort of interaction. I think we all like crave that, especially coming out of these crazy times of being isolated a little bit.
Yeah.
Making sure you like show up for your people that are signing up for this program is really important.
Yeah, yeah. And, like I said, just to kind of wrap it up, like, I think that we try and make it really easy for you to just kind of, all you have to do is engage. And, you don't have to get into the minutia of creating assets and, everything like that. Like, we can create that for you and take that off of your hands, so that you can do what you wanted to do, which is help people and really give them the support that you want to give them. So yeah, I think it's a wonderful tool, and if you want to learn more about it, just let us know. Amy can flash up the marketing contact info there, and you can contact Amy for any marketing services. And you can contact us at the contact email there, or marketing@gethealthy.store, and we're happy to help. You do have to have a store with us to take advantage of these services. So if you don't have a store yet, then feel free to, you can also use that contact information and we'll get you to the right person. But yeah, really, really cool stuff that I really love about our company. So
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here, Courtney, and for walking us through it today. And also, we mentioned the freebie on ChatGPT earlier. Again, kind of marketing@gethealthy.store. Just reach out to us, and we can also point you in the direction if you are interested in learning more about some of the other topics we've been discussing this year. So, and next week we are going to kind of wrap up our month of All About programs. So if you have any questions, please bring them. It's going to be a Q&A. Tracy Straub's going to return, and we're going to kind of do a report card here and try and make sure we haven't left anything uncovered. So please, no question is too silly, bring it and we'll tackle it.
Yeah. Be thinking of those questions that you want to ask. It can be about anything at all, whether it's about if you are running a program with us or if you just want to know more. So we'll be here.
Yeah. All right. As always, thank you for being here. Happy Friday, and we'll see you next week.
Sounds good. Bye.